girl, Bella.
Hi, babes. It's me, Shannon B for Brown Girl Bella. I bring you lips, lashes, and luxury. My brand is all about high-end luxury, but I also do mid-tier reviews as well as for my bargain bellas, drugstore brands as well. I do makeup and skincare and show you what things you should spend your money on and which things you should simply toss away. There's
Brown
something here
girl,
for
Bella.
everyone, and there's something here for you. Come join me, be a Bella, and let's get Bellafied. Hello, babes. Welcome to the Queendom. It's your host, Shannon, Brown Girl Bella. And tonight I'm going to bring you something different. You know, on Thursdays, we like to unwind, wine, and wine. But I thought today we would start a new segment called Welcome to the Queendom, where we talk about all things pertaining to women's issues and have the men just listen. Okay. So, men just listen, women less chat. Hello, everybody. Let me shout out a couple of people who are already in here. Hey, Carmen. Hey, sis. Thank you so much for coming. DOD, welcome as always. Welcome to the building, King. Nice to have you here. My special guest is on the way. So we're just going to chit chat and all that until she gets here. The first topic I want to talk about is actually a funny topic because I was in someone else's live stream earlier today and she was like, oh my God, she's suffering. And I was like, girl, I know the feeling, and it is hot flashes. I'm going to tell you, I don't know who created us, but he must have hated women because no sister would have ever given us this thing. I'm going to tell you, I have been suffering myself from hot flashes for a while now. And hey, Super Chat, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Guys, don't forget to smash that button on your way in. And if you can, share me out on your community tabs or other social media devices so we can have more people come into the conversation. So, yes, so I have been suffering from hot flashes and other sundry postpartum issues for a hot minute now. And the latest is that my hair is starting to thin. What the heck? I don't know. Thank you to Rashad. He said he shared it on Reddit. Thank you so much. I don't know if other sisters in here have had this issue, but I'm gonna tell you, it's beginning to drive me a little insane. Not only because of the hot flashes, but then also because of the shedding. Like I wash my hair about once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on how much product I put in my hair. And I'm going to tell you, like, I'm starting to see noticeable areas where my hair is thinning. So, this gorgeous Black woman I saw earlier today on, I think Sugar, I think it was on yours. Hey, Sugar. Hey, Boo. I think it was on your live stream. She had the beautiful cropped platinum blonde hair. Oh, so gorgeous. And I was like, first of all, I'm not going to cut my hair. So at least not that short. Um but I was just like, man, I remember the days when I could rock a close cut like that and be like fierce. But now that it's starting to thin, I'm like, I can't do the Jada Pinkett. I can't do the bald head. I can't do the real short crop looks anymore because it's just not where I'm at in my stage of life. It's just not going to work out for me. But I'm like, there's probably other things that I can do. I just need to figure out what those things are. And then now my grays, or as I call them, my silvers are coming in like gangbusters. So whenever I do like a henna treatment or what have you, it will last for no longer than 3 weeks. I've timed it. 3 weeks. After that third week, here come my silvers. And it's always around the temple of my hairline first. And then it starts to migrate into the hair. Hey, Brian Lynn, welcome in. Oh, I just rhymed there. Hey, your boy Leo, what's going on, sis? No, I don't want to be bald. Mm-mm. Let me start the camera for that one because I want you to see. I am not playing. I'm not trying to be a bald. Okay. Okay. I've tried the short haircuts. I love the short haircuts. Just not for me anymore. Not for me anymore. But hey, boo, how you do? Welcome to the Queendom. How are you? So I love this. I love the fact that we as women and the guys that love us that come in here and say hi. Did I just call you? I don't know. Did I? I might have um fat fingered, but we do need to talk though. We do need to talk. Um, okay. So yeah, the silvers are coming in. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Um, and I have played around with I think what I am going to do is I played around in this area before. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. And yes, honey. Um, I played around with this before, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my hair, but I'm going to cut it in like a bob style so that when I wear my hair straight, it doesn't look too stringy. It'll fall really nicely because it's, all maybe layered bobs. But hey sis, welcome in, C Parker, Mrs. Parker. Hello, doll. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. What is the topic for the talk? So we talk about everything, anything, whatever comes to mind, honey. That's what happens in the queendom. You just sit back and listen and hear the queens talk, honey. The queens are talking. The queens are talking. So let me throw down the link because my special guest for tonight is here. Y'all know her as Beach. I know her as Sora Bridget. Sora Bridget. Come to the floor, Sora Bridget. So let's put her in. Here is the ladder for her to climb on up and say hi to us. Oh, by the way, do we like our Queendom makeup today? I like it. I usually reserve this kind of look for, yes, honey, chat royalty. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. I can't do too much moving around because I got a t-shirt on. Which is why I will probably hey. Brown girl, no, you saying we need to talk. What's the topic we need to talk about? Oh, if I wanted everybody to know the topic we talking about, I just say it here, right? Okay, wait for my phone call. Thanks. All right. Hey, mama. Hold on a second. Let me make sure the background is quiet when you come up. Hey, boo. How you do?
Hey, big sister.
What's going
I
on?
am so honored to be here, honey. This is the type of stuff will have you wake up out of your sleep straight up.
Yes.
Any other time, I'm about that cam up life, but not like looking like this. Just woke up, get it together. So
No worries at all. I can cam for the both of us.
Yeah, yes, you can. Yes, hold it down. That's how we, okay, hold
Hold
it
it
down.
down. Hold it
You
down.
got, look, you got it. You got it. I was like, should I go to my laptop and turn on the mic and all that? I said, I just don't have that. Let's just let the phone do its thing because I just haven't quite woken up. So
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not moving, but I'm moving for you, but I'm not moving for the rest of the equipment to be sitting over there and all that. So I'm comfy and I'm glad to be here. Hello to the chat. And
Yes,
you, of
hello,
course,
Mr.
looking lovely.
100
All
Grams, and his abs are here tonight
I
representing.
see them. That's quite a few abs there. Huh.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
Yes, indeed. Brian Lynn, welcome in. DOD saying peace. And C.
Hi.
Parker saying hello. Good evening, Miss Beach. All right, sis. So I wanted to have a dialogue with my sisters, and I wanted you to be the first one because me and you share some common ground. One, most importantly, is our sorority, which we love so very much. So I wanted to give people an opportunity who may have heard about sorority life or may have wanted to join a sorority, just a snippet of our life and what we go through. So I'll start first. I was initiated in the Alpha Mu chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is a Brooklyn City chapter, May 5th, 1996.
Oh my gosh, my
Cinco de
birthday
Mayo.
month. That's my birthday. Like, so on my birthday, I will know that's your anniversary. I will remember that.
Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de
Yeah,
Mayo.
May 5th, my birthday, and I'll remember your anniversary, so I can send a gift or something. Ah, oh,
See,
that's so.
see, this is why I wanted to have these chats so we can get to know each other better. So, my whole reason for joining a sorority was I grew up without any brothers or sisters. So, I grew up as an only child. And I always saw these women throughout various crucial stages of my life. So, why I say crucial, when you are just, becoming a woman and you're 12, 13, and you're in that adolescent stage, you're kind of gawky. And I
Mhm.
had, big hair, I had a skinny body, and, a lot of people teased me for that. I got teased a lot. Even my own family, would tease me about, various things. And that's very traumatizing for a young woman, right? To be teased like that and say, oh, you're flat chested, or you're all you are is hair and a stick. And I'm like, wow, like really? Like people can be so cruel, and your family even more crueler. But look at me now, honey.
That's that swan effect. That's the swan effect. I think a lot of us got a similar story. Very awkward. Honey, these lips did not fit my face for a long time. So that swan effect of being looking
Mhm.
very awkward and then growing into all the features that you have now is totally like, look at me now. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
um,
And
that,
that's why I thought you'd be the perfect person for this first Queendom chat, because I remember on your live you were talking about it, and I was like, girl, you're like singing my song right now. You are singing my song key in key. Like I know this life. And so And we both, have daughters. Mine has since, passed away, but um they both, will have that awkward stage. And my daughter had it really bad. And I told her, I
Mhm.
said, you, first of all, are no ugly duckling because mama don't make no mistakes. Okay. I run off carbon copies. So to see
Mm.
me, that's how my daughter would look, all made up, just like me. And so I told her, I said, everybody goes through these phases, including mommy. And what you have to know is you will become a beautiful swan right before your very eyes. There will be a moment in
Yes.
time that all of this awkwardness takes a shift. And then you become who you are. You kind of grow into your body, you grow into who you are, you grow into your lips, you grow into your little button nose, you grow into, your eyes, your ears, your whatever you think is awkward. Guess what? It grows right along with you. And the journey is so beautiful. And it's in a blink of an eye. So, all of these things that you think are so bad right now that you can't get over right now, guess what? It'll be over before you know it. And then you have the other side to look forward to. So, wanted to dive into that a little bit as well with you. What do you think was that turning moment for you when you looked in the mirror and you said, "Oh, honey."
Um, you know what? Ironically, it's gonna be mid 30s. I'm with Bella, you guys. I go back originally. I did pledge on the yard of Fall 97, number 7, baby doll. And
Mm,
um my influence, well, I guess all the things the women, all the women around me, everybody, like whether it was church, extracurricular activities, I would look at these ladies, I'm like, they got it going on. It was just something about the way they
mhm.
walked, their confidence, their leisure at they just had this leisure type of confidence, like we got you. They just looked after us. I mean, I love them so much. So I knew, I was like, I didn't really know until you really don't know until you step foot on the yard. But once you see yourself in the younger form, you're like, okay, you already know. So I never get people who's like, I don't know. I'm like, then please don't come this way, because if you don't know, then there's nothing
Right.
to
And
have
then
to
we're not
try to
for
like.
you.
There's a completely there's no. It's not even close. So you're not knowing means you should go the other way, because this isn't for you. So
Mhm.
that was 97. That moving on, this month will be my anniversary of 24 years on the end of the month. Yep, October 30th, the end of the month. So that was my crossing year. So honey, I do we have a whole thing that we do. I'm still, look, I'm gonna be this way all the way to beyond the wall. Okay, I'm gonna be
Mhm.
this way all the way. I'm just never gonna change. I'm fine with that. We all need that type that remind, you know what I'm saying? Like, still out here trying to do a strap. Like, look, I'm her, and I'm fine with that, because we're just all so different. And I love to see that people are recognizing, hey, everyone's not walking around in a blazer suit and he'll, sitting behind a desk. No, we got entertainers. We got the Angela Bassett's, and I was going to bring that up as a key factor, which she's, as for her being a Sarah, to me, she's dear to my heart, because it took way too long she was always beautiful acting in her younger years, but it's just now where people are really giving her flowers of, this woman is in her 60s and beauty
Mhm.
is just pouring from her. You see what I'm saying? I don't know where the
Absolutely.
turnaround happened, where how is this the pivotal point of her career, the most exposure and everything she's got. How did it take to 62 before folks saw that? I don't know. But she's gorgeous and she gets more beautiful. And I'm just so honored to have, I'm like, I guess it's the Angela Bassett effect for some of us. Listen, hold on to your dreams. We're older. I think I'm older in my, going on mid 40s, but to to me, not really. When I look at other women who have just sat down and given up in life, I'm like, well, I'm supposed to be the older one. You're in your 20s or 30s. Why are you so, whatever? So I don't know. Maybe we aren't the older ones. The 40s might really be the new 20s. And then, of course, 50, looking at some people, I'm like, wait, 50 what? So I don't know. This one thing, it's amazing. And I call it just the Angela Bassett effect. Like the older you get, the better things look, the more you begin to, your confidence shoots up. And I'm just like, you know, I see it in you. I'm like, honey, when I saw that cover for the finalist thing, I was like, wait, what if she's like 50? Huh? No one of us never realizes the other's age. I mean, we don't. No one asks how old are you. So here I
Mm-hmm.
am thinking you're in my bracket, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going
Yeah.
on here? So,
Mhm.
three claps and a snap for all the ladies who said, no, I'm not 40 and gonna roll down and put on a moo and call it a day. I'm gonna step it up, and I'm going to continue to be beautiful and flourish inside, because that's usually what shows on the outside. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Absolutely. Yeah, I
I hope
have
I
no
answered the question. If I didn't, just throw it back at me.
no, you absolutely did. No, I have no qualms about growing old gracefully. I was talking about before you came how with this seasonality comes some other issues like menopause and thinning hair, and my
Mhm.
silver's coming in like fast and furious. Like soon as I put a rinse in, it like goes up completely away. And I think even if I were to remember, because I've had silver since I was 16, and back then you thought it was cute because if you got, some silver hair at 16, you can probably get her to the club because they probably think you
I am
old.
so tickled. You use a rinse. I be using, y'all, I use waterproof mascara, and I go around the edges and cover up my because I found that there's something in a rinse. I don't know. It's not supposed to be chemicals, but when I was using the rinse in my hair, that it's not, it does something to the, I can't explain it. So as of right now, I'm not using rinses. I'm using mascara that covers the gray up. I just wanted to throw that out to
Girl,
anybody.
ain't enough mascara, and I got plenty. Ain't enough mascara in the world that's gonna cover up all of it. When it like really comes to like now, it looks cute and sexy because it's just a little sprinkle here and there. That means the rinse is coming out. But
Okay,
honey,
I'm gonna
next
listen
time
to you and
you
mute because I got a daughter in my face. I'm on mute and I'm listening. Okay, I'm right
okay.
here.
So for me, like once it starts coming in fast and furious, it just changes the way I look at myself. So that's why I'm like, yeah, of course tonight. Depending on what time I get out of this live, I'll either do it today or tomorrow. Because tomorrow, is my day off from YouTube. All I do is watch other people. I don't like do anything on my channel on Fridays. So may do it that at that time. Hey, you do the same with mascara. See, I envy you ladies who have like a couple of sprinkles and can do this with like colored mascara. Me, I cannot. I cannot. And I'm sad about it. I really am. Hey, uniquely lavish. Hey, boo. Hey, boo. How are you? So we're just talking about women stuff and what we can do as we season with time. Um yes, I used to use henna as well. I used to use henna as well. Here's the thing about henna though. It's very, very strong in terms of not the smell, although some of them do smell like that Beijing, really like, ugh. But it stains. So you have to constantly like wipe your forehead down, and like even before you put the henna on, like you have to make sure somebody really like put some petroleum jelly on your hairline because it seeps into the skin and it stains the skin. So it's a lot to take off and manage. So that's why I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, no, I don't want to do the whole henna thing because it stains. Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, my stains. Yeah, I understand that completely. I do. Yeah,
Mhm. But
can't
I
do
mean,
stains.
it's it's funny because somebody always asks me, well, they used to ask me, why do you do like all the stuff you do? Like, why do you like put blonde streaks in your hair or dye your hair or put makeup on or whatever? Like, why don't you just leave your face alone, leave your hair alone, don't do nothing? And I'm like, because
Well,
I
what are you
enjoy,
doing?
yeah, I enjoy it. Like, I wanna look cute. Like, I wanna walk past myself
Right.
in the mirror and be like, "Girl, is that you?"
Yeah, the makeup isn't because you need it. It's
It's
like it's
because
gonna
I like
enhance.
it.
Yeah, it's like let me get into character. I don't know,
Right.
it's like, I it's not about me needing it. Like because I have seen the women who wear the makeup and they transform from they're wearing about 3 or 4 additional faces, as I like to call it. And when they take it off,
Mhm.
you can't recognize them. That's not your testimony. I've seen you come on before, starting from scratch, and you still look like Bella. Not wait, who's that? You know what I mean? So that's not your testimony that you look like a completely different creature, a woman,
Right.
without the makeup. So it's not about needing it, and that's what makeup is more enjoyable for those women who like, well, I don't need it, but when I put it on and these things pop, and
Mhm.
just give me a little extra flair. It works better for us. You don't change, and I love so much when I'm like because I stay away from the makeup channels, like, even though I could learn some things, but I don't want to change the shape of my nose. And so when I see you come
Right.
on and you do yourself, I'm like, she's not changing her nose. She's not comfortable. She doesn't look like a different person. I can
Yeah.
watch you. You're the first one I have been able to watch. You're not changing the shape of like your face. It's still
Right.
Bella, just
Mhm.
Bellafied. You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
that's why I'm always
Exactly.
over here like, what's that? I don't know any of them. I'm learning the names. I hear you say the names. I'm like, okay, I know that's a good name. Because that's what you do. You listen to
Mhm.
your big sister, you learn the names. Start from there. Because I don't know where to start. I'm like, girl, I don't know where to start. But I'm at the point now where I need to be. I want to. I just don't know where to start. So I
Mhm.
listen to the names. I watch you. I see the certain things like that one I would do, that I do. I pay a lot of attention, but I'm never you're just not changing the shape of your face, and I just love it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, I
this is
don't,
true makeup to me.
yeah, I don't like to change my aesthetic of who I am. I have this picture, and if I can find it, I'll pull it up. But there was this augmented kind of reality um picture going around Facebook where you can take a picture and they put you on a magazine cover or something like that. And I did that and I took it and I posted it. And people were like, "Oh my God, like that doesn't even look like you." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the whole point. Like I would never want to look like that person. Like my nose was really contoured, so it was really thin.
I
Um,
think I know what you're talking about. That
yes.
the look they have now, and this is why I was one day I was praying, I was thinking because just all the people, all this talent that some of us are just culturing later in life. Some of us have always had it, but maybe circumstances, maybe we didn't believe in us. Whatever it was holding us back. We still have a chance to like. It ain't over. Like the last, well, it ain't the last dance yet. No one called and said last dance. Um, we got time to let the world see, oh, I'm fabulous. I can do this. I know my stuff. So trust and believe. Talent, it is not over. So keep doing what you're doing, because you don't never know. When I tell you, you don't know who's watching, honey, you don't know who's watching. And I've always said, where was Abella at when, back when, I'm just things I used to do with the events. I was like, where was she? The stars. I mean, trying to find, there are so many stars that are in entertainment and do things that are, we're people too. We're
Mhm,
actresses and we're on television, and we do makeup and we do uh dancing, the good thing, different types, not, people
mhm.
automatically always run to, the worst. But it's like, why do y'all think you see us on TV all the time? Why do people not understand why every major, news station, one of us is there broadcasting, giving the news, whether it's Fox, CNN, all, we're everywhere. Even
We're
the radio stations, a
everywhere.
lot of people don't know. Down south, whether it's Atlanta, Alabama, all of my sorors are the head DJs there. And it's been that way
Mhm,
since I was back in college. We've always held that spot down, like, no,
mhm.
Mary Kay had it, and when she left New York, like, we are holding positions even in entertainment that people don't understand. Like, yeah, because we need DJs. Someone has to run the radio. Someone has to play their stuff. And it's us being alpha. We tend to work our way up, or just shine. And who we are has our
Mhm.
personality. People want that. As they want to hire it, they want them in these jobs. And so I always remind people, I'm like, please stop boxing everybody in, with a seat in Congress. That's not everybody's ministry. I mean, we got more women that are, stars that are doing things that just everything. We're everywhere. There's not a job out there that I can't, respectable work, that I don't know a star that's doing it, and she's holding that position down. But
Absolutely.
yeah, your talent, it's just, I always think any minute somebody's gonna come in her, and you're ready. The thing about it is, you're ready. Your page
Mhm,
is already ready. Your branding is ready. You don't need somebody to come around and say, well, I need someone to get a song from. You're ready for whenever
mhm,
that knock on your door comes, and they're
mhm.
like, would you mind doing this for whatever? You are so ready, and you motivate me all the time. Like, see, stay
Aw.
ready, and you don't have to get ready. Act like your
Be
page
ready.
is the number one YouTuber. You better act like you are already there, because you don't. When people see you already packaged, you're already ready, you're self-made, you have done all that stuff, and you have the talent. It just makes you already a pick me, because it's like, oh, she's ready. She knows her stuff.
Absolutely.
So kudos to you, big sister.
Thank you, and kudos to you, honey. You doing the doggone thing as well. And I love the fact that the women that I know who are members of our sorority, they are so well rounded. Yes, they, are captains of industry. They're at the top of their game in a lot of different ways. I know sorors who are in C suites. I know sorors who are directors like myself. I know sorors who, are behind the camera, in front of the camera, on the side of the camera as makeup artists and hairstylists. I know sorors who, who are just great home housewives and do an excellent job at holding that down. Because I'm going to tell you, being a full time housewife is serious business. It's one of the hardest jobs out here, is to make sure that our kids are growing up and have the understanding of the world outside even while they are inside. You know what I mean? And I thank, my own grandmother for that kind of rearing, because she always, she had a lot of strange southern sayings that I was like, what? What does that even mean? But I know what it meant to her was, inside this house, you do what's required of you, so that when you leave outside this house, you take that same sense of self with you. And she always gave me that strong sense of self. So what you see before you is the grooming of Judel. Judel raised this. Judel created this. And every moment that I step in front of the camera or that I go outside, I want to say to myself, and I want to know that how I am projecting myself is a way that will make her proud. And I think this segment, Welcome to the Queendom, would make her immensely proud because she always wanted to pour into other women. She poured into her friends, she poured into her sisters, she definitely poured into me. And I think using this platform to help other women and to hip our men too, because I think it would make men more empathetic to know all of the back things that we have to go through in order to brave face and face this world. It's a lot. It's a lot that we go through. And I want to unpack
Okay.
that so that they are empowered too to say, you know what? Next time you see a sister walking in the street and her head's a little down, say a little something to lift her up, lift her spirits. Next time you see a sister and she's going for a door, make sure you open that door for her. Make sure you tell her to have a great day. It doesn't have to be anything, sexual or anything, to try to get with her. Just lift her day, inspire her. You never know how that could impact the rest of her day. So that's
Come
why I
on now,
said,
Bella.
yeah,
That's
I said, well,
fine.
let's do this.
And y'all know what, ladies? And if the guys don't do it, we're just gonna have to say, you know what, at one point I'm just walking and pumping my gas that I don't want to pump, but hey, somebody gotta pump it. We
Girl.
walking by, I see so many. I'm like, you know what? Okay, ladies, they have just given up, with the pandemic and all things going on and people leaving. You just don't know what they're going through. And I see them and I just want, I was in the store the other day and you don't know how much everything in me wanted to go to this young lady. And the store was next door to a beauty supply store. And I knew, I could tell by her wig something was really going on. I wish that I could have just
Yeah.
said, "Girl, come next door with me. I'm gonna get rock. You're getting blessed today because I get it. I understand." And walk over there and find something to change because I could just tell she wasn't happy about what was on. You know what I mean? I could just tell, and I thought, who's not loving this young lady? She was young, way younger than me. It looked so stressed out, and I thought, where is her mother? Where's somebody that would let her know you don't, honey, I don't care if you get the 1999 with you, you don't have to have anything on your head matic. You're trying to work. You don't, all of that goes into your confidence and how you feel about yourself. I wanted so bad to do that. And I remember the times when, that would have been okay. But now I thought, you know what, you need to, I can't tell her that, I don't want to be, hit or injured and or whatever. Um, I just have to, I said a prayer and I thought, where are the role models? Well, we're here, we're around. People just are looking down and they're not looking up. So for those of us who have not given up on life, it's important when we come out, we walk straight, we walk with our head up, we let people see. I did take the time, even if you just got a wearing a regular ponytail pull back, I took the time to brush my hair before I came to this store to go through the detergent aisle or whatever. It's
Mhm.
important that we don't look like, even I know, I'm the first one to grab the sweats and the shirt, but sometimes I'm thinking, you know what? Some people, you might be the only person they see that, well, they actually took the time to put on something that didn't have bleach stains and holes in them. That's our responsibility for those of us, the women who can. You know who you are, and we know we can do it. It's not a fashion show to go shopping for laundry detergent and your basic household needs. But when I look around the stores and I'm like, no one cares. You can't. You just
Mhm.
can't. But you care, and you don't know who looks at you and realizes, you know what? When I get it'll wake them up. it may wake them up.
Mhm.
So if the men not gonna do it, then we'll try
And
our
we need to
best.
do it for each other.
Yes.
Venus November said, we have to show love to other women. Some may not have sisters by family, but we have to show them that we are here. I was blessed with a sister 11 months apart, but I have so many other sisters as well. Absolutely. And that's bringing it back full circle. That's kind of how I came upon even going out for Alpha Kappa Alpha. Like I started to say in the beginning, everyone that I saw who I really wanted to emulate because they had this strong sense of self and they carried themselves so eloquently, they were members of my sorority. And I was like, well, if these people are constantly showing up in my life in different ways, and I am constantly looking at them as something that I want to make sure that I grow up having, then maybe I need to consider becoming a member of this sorority. And so I'm going to tell you my experience, but by no means is this experience typical because in my 25 years, I think I might be the only one who's had this experience. So, but that again goes to show the power of the people that have shown up in my life. So, here's a story about how I started my road to becoming an AKA. My big sister, well, now I could call her my big sister. At that time, she was just a woman that I saw. We were standing in front of our school. And, like I said, I'm a city campus. So it's in the middle of Brooklyn. And she had a tote bag that said AKA on it. And so I stopped her and I said, "Hi, my name is Shannon. I go to this school, LIU, and I noticed that you have a AKA tote bag." I said, "Is there a chapter here on campus?" And she turned to me and she was like, "Yeah, there is." She was like, "I am," and then she gave me her name, her line name, her number. Like she gave me like all her information. And then she's like, "Here's my information." She gave me her telephone number and everything. And then here's my line sister's information. And of which she has six, but she gave me one of them. And she's like, "Give us a call." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I walked my happy butt back to class, tucked the note and everything inside. And I was like, "I'm gonna give her a call." And so I didn't call her that night. I called her the next night. And the next night that I called her, she was like, "Oh, yes, I remember you, blah, blah, blah. Let's meet for coffee." I was like, "Oh, okay." So we met. And so, she asked me a couple questions. I answered them. I asked her some questions. She answered them. And it was just a really nice, free flowing conversation. And every time I say that, like, we always do reclamation teas at our chapter now. I'm in a grad chapter. And so they always pick me to tell this story because nobody has ever had this happen to them, to my knowledge that I know of. But she was so warm and kind and loving to me. Like she didn't have to give me her number. She didn't even have to stop and say anything to me. She could have kept on moving. But again, like every woman that I've ever met up until the time I became a member, and even throughout my membership, I have met some really warm, wonderful women. And when someone stops me, I remember back how I felt. And I was like, "You know what? I gotta do it. I gotta do it." And one other thing I want to say, because she's in this chat and she knows like my history because she's been on the journey with me. She's one of my big sisters that I look up to. And when I mention how warm and kind and generous the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha were to me. She is one of them, and her name is Ray of Sunshine, and she's in here. So y'all, if y'all are members, throw a little something in the chat for my soror Ray, because she was definitely one of those who poured into me. And when I kind of shared her my little story or whatever, she was very, very supportive and very kind and very generous with her time and attention to me. And I'll never forget that. And I'll always, always have a special place in my heart for her. So it's my soiree.
Get to the way, sorry. I'm not gonna try to do that here and break everybody's device. But yeah, sometimes I still be practicing because gotta
I know my
keep
Stevie
that,
is
you
really
know.
high
Woo.
pitched too.
It don't take, yeah, very, very, very high. Those were days you had to practice. I mean, you were in that dorm room, but I mean,
Oh
wherever
yeah,
you were, wherever your dwelling was, it was just like, you
you
better get
better
it right,
you better
okay?
be ready when when it's time to come out.
Right. Somebody crossed the yard and you see them and you hear is you better right back, you know
You
what I
better
mean?
be
Like,
right. You better be
and you
right
better
there
reach
with it.
all the way over there to the other building. It's gotta go echo all the way. So
What?
you actually
What?
practice
What?
indoor for it outside to go so far. Everyone else they'll hear it and everyone just joins in. And of course, you got the others gotta want to try to jump in, but you can't beat that. We will
I know
always
how
go
my
the
big sister said. You
longest.
better dig down to the ancestors. You better holler on Ethel.
Yes,
You better
Ethel,
call
you
on
better
Ethel to
Ethel,
get you that
Ethel
skill.
Heshman loud. Come in, give me the strength. Give me the
With the
strength. I'm
strength
just
of
I'm
Ethel.
so happy. Yes, give me the strength. I have many oh gosh, I've been pulling out things recently because I knew it was coming last year. I had been doing a few YouTube tours and getting in some behinds because some of these men who weren't happy about the election and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris was coming in and they just, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I guess they'd never been around the AKA, never seen it. And so they thought they were just going to talk to me any type of way. I knew then, I said, this is going to be a interesting time for us ladies because if you haven't, if you don't know, let me be the first to tell you, we do have a target on our back. And there have been people that when I tell you before that, it was no big deal before the election. After the election, people coming up out of the blue want to say something, derogatory, want to put it down, all because they have, they don't like her. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, 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 no. You're not gonna just talk to us any type of way. So just
Mm-hmm.
be aware. I know my oath. I have never broken it and never intend to and never will. Okay. But I'll tell you what, this was the first time, especially and I'm on several social media platforms, but here on the YouTube, when I said you're not gonna do us any type, you got us. I'm sorry, did you must have got the wrong memo? You're not gonna just stump all over us because you think we're, you clearly must have us mistaken, and so I I don't mind being that voice sometimes that, I guess I'll just have to get a little gritty with you because I tried to be nice. I tried to do it this way, but you're not getting the point to be able to have that in your soul to be like, it just comes and sometimes it can be done delicately, sometimes it can't. So I just want to just encourage anybody out there and all of you have that notice those type of things and just say, hold on a second, is it me or out of all of a sudden, yeah, it is definitely a target for those who have such hate for what our wonderful VP is doing. um they will come for us because they can't reach her, but we're not going to
Mm-hmm.
take it, and it's always going to be a serious matter and I'm going to handle it. I know Bella seriously, they understand. I bet you won't try that again with another one. All right, we are not cowards, we never were. Everyone has a unique experience that make them to who they are, and you don't go this long um and put for so many decades to just be let someone walk over what you know holds so sacred to your heart. And we don't have to take that, ladies. We don't, and we're not going to. We're just not going to. As we see,
Absolutely.
no one is thinking about any other group. It's just us. It's like, okay, all of a sudden, you're coming for the ladies in pink, but meanwhile, I get it. So it's our own responsibility. We don't need any help defending ourselves. We are just fine. We can hold it down. One of us is equivalent to a million of the ops. So salute yourselves and know who you are and stand firm, 10 toes down. We are not moving. And honey, the founders will give you the strength to let the people know who they are dealing with. So I just want to say salute to your even non-members. Just know you're around powerful women that, oh no, absolutely not. Do not let the lipstick and the pink fool you. Okay.
Yes,
This is
honey.
strength. Okay. I digress on that.
Listen, you said a mouthful there, and some of the things I wanted to touch on was the fact that for the first time ever in this country, we have a woman who is a stone's throw away from the highest office in the land. She is our very first vice president. She is the second in command. And she has a lot of eyes on her. And there's a lot of people who, doubted in the first place, but then doubled down on that. And anything that comes out negative in our country, she's the first one to get bashed. Not even Biden. Like she's the first one to get bashed. And so, you have to understand when you hold that kind of rank in office, you cannot please everybody. She is there to serve us all, not just her folk, but all folk. Um, so you have to understand that, she does not have, although she is the second most powerful person in the world, even with that rank, she still has to go by what Congress says, what the law says first and foremost, what Congress says and what the House says. She can't do it alone, which is why we have those branches of government. So every time you're pointing a finger at, Biden or pointing a finger at Kamala, remember, you must also point a finger at your congressman, point a finger at your representatives, because those are the people who help get our laws enforced. So when you're out voting, vote with confidence. Vote for people who you know what their policies are and what they believe and what they don't believe in. Because every person that you're putting into office has their own agenda and has an agenda that will be aligned with what your feelings are, and they're not necessarily the same thing. So know who you're putting into office, know who you're voting for, and then hold their feet to fire, not just the top, the bottom, and the sides. You have to hold them all accountable, not just the highest in the land. Hey, India.
I
Oh,
concur to that. We are in this White House. Things are just, it's awesome. Even with Michelle Obama, even being honorary, and still, that doesn't take away anything from what she was. I knew, I was like, you know what? It will never be the same, because I was always like, look, we got Michelle over there, it's gonna go. I'm just I'm so super excited to see the women. I have a surprise I wanted to show you, Bella. I can't really, I don't want to be on the camera, but you are gonna love these. I'm gonna try to find them since I know
okay.
your shoe size. I actually know your shoe size. And I
Yes.
said, this is so Bella, I'm gonna try and find them because I know exactly where I got them from and try to give you a nice surprise because
Hello from
I know your shoe
Australia.
size. But I just wanted to let me see if I can get a very, very good picture. My lighting is so weird. Let me turn the camera around. Honey,
Oh,
honey.
oh
Yes.
my God.
I've had these for a couple years and I was cleaning. I said, you know what? This
Oh
is
my
so Bella.
God.
I am gonna find these. I know where I got them. I know, right? Like, is this what you
Oh
think it
my
is?
God.
Yes, it's that. It is
Yes.
exactly what you think it is. I am going to find those. I knew you would like them. No one else is really they'd be like,
Yes.
oh, cute shoes. I'm like, no, you don't
You
understand.
don't
These are
understand.
sequins. So I am going on a hunt,
Oh my
okay, to
God.
find these for you.
Oh.
I'm going on a hunt. I know exactly where
Right,
I got
right.
them from.
Oh.
And I know you but yeah, well, I'm gonna give it one more time around some really good lighting. If anyone wanted to see, these are my
Yes,
shoes.
honey.
I wear them with a dress. I wear them like I dress them up. You want to
Yes.
just wear a dress and you don't feel like doing the heels, honey. I am going to these. Love them. I had no idea when I bought them it would be an epic type of purchase. So
Hello.
later, so I am going to be going on a hunt and I will keep you posted, or better yet,
Mm-hmm.
just have a very
Baby.
nice early Christmas gift coming to you because I know they have to
Yes.
still make those. Yes. They come
Yes.
in that color, silver and the black, but it's something
Ooh,
about the bling and how you are. I said
yes.
she's more blingy. I know she's
Yes.
gonna want the silver. Yeah, so that's my mission for you because
Oh,
you've
Jada,
done
I have
so
to
much for
see
me.
yours. Jada said she loves hers. I gotta see yours. I know they're fierce. Come
So
on, just a blinged out Chuck. Ugh, look.
right, and it just came that way. I was like, when I said I had to get a half, like I think mine's a. I really could have used a smaller size, but that was all they had. I had to buy it. I'm like, I'm buying it. But they don't look big, so and they don't feel awkward.
No, they
Um,
don't.
they were the only pair, and I mean, I've had those were probably 4 years ago or something. I only pull
Mm.
them out on special occasions, but just now, when I don't know, I was cleaning some things the other day. I said, this is so Bella. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go pull up that store site, pull that in, and I'm gonna find those,
Oh
and
my
I will
gosh.
be try to get you an early Christmas gift because I know you're gonna wear them to the
Yes.
max.
Like I
To
wear
the
my
max.
listen, okay, I gotta tell you a funny story about the slippers you bought me. Wait, hold please. I gotta go get the slippers because I gotta do
Okay.
show and tell. So hold please while I go and get them. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. Okay, we're back. I had to make sure that I was situated just so, because like I said, I'm wearing a tank shirt like a dress for this evening's festivities. And I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I am properly situated at all times. All right, so here are the shoes. Oh, everybody
Yeah.
see the shoes. Oh, oh,
Yeah, they're so soft. I know. And then they spread out over time and they don't shed. She did a good job for
She
her
did an
first time trying it.
excellent job. So sometimes I put them on like absentmindedly and I don't remember that I have them on. So I went into one of those little sandwich shops or whatever to get a sandwich or whatever. And I saw another woman, she had a mask on, but I looked at her eyes as she was opening the door, like, you look familiar. Turns out, like when I walked in the door, she walked in behind me, she said something, and I was like, Soror. And then she took her mask down. She's actually my Sans. She's actually Spring 96. And I was like, hey, like, I know you. So we hugged, and she was like, I should have known that was you when I looked down and I saw those shoes. And she was like, nobody but Shannon wear these kind of shoes.
Yes. I mean, when doing the most goes right, with being
Okay.
when being extra
If
just
doing the most was
yes.
a person, it would probably look like me. It'd probably be
It just
me.
works with some people. It just works. I know. It's just like, this will work. So
Thank
I was
you,
happy that you slid them on and I grabbed
honey.
it while I could because I don't know if I can do that again. People switch up and change, and then I'm glad I called at the when I tell you the right time at the right moment.
Oh,
My gut said, hurry, run. Even if it's I was like, just send what you have. I'm glad I did because I don't know if I can
oh,
be able to get any more, but those were especially made for you. And I was like, do them well, just in even when Caesar, don't do it, sloppy. But those colors, she did good.
she
I'll give
she
her
did
credit
a
for that.
she did an excellent job. And like I said, I sometimes put them on absent-mindedly because they are so freaking comfortable. Okay, let's start there.
Yes.
They are so freaking comfortable. And so when I slip my feet in, it's like, oh, like Nirvana. They feel so good. And so, sometimes I'll just wear like a tank dress or whatever, and I'll just slip these on. And I'll go walk Brooklyn or I'll go to the post office, just like random things. And people are like, oh my God, your shoes are just so fabulous. And I forget I have them on. I'm like, oh, yes, that's my soror, Bridget. She hooked her soror up. So I had to give you your props on that one because I get so many compliments on these shoes. You have no idea. But yes, they have been all around Connecticut and New York.
Amazing.
They've even gone to New York with me.
Sidebar when when it doesn't work. Okay, I know, how can pink and green not work out well? Let me tell you. So I have, of course, I do a little bit of promo, and I have a couple of friends in the music industry. And
Mhm,
without putting his name on blast, one of the videographers in my city, that he's the main major one in the city that records videos, music videos, specifically music videos, mostly for rappers, but anybody, any artist, R&B too. Very good at what he does. He came from the station that also our Sarah is the head DJ, VJ there. But
mhm,
someone has caught on the colors that have been making money, of course, have been pink and green.
mhm,
And we've talked many times, like people have asked me, hey, can you know any they wanted to do a cleaner look with video girls, like more classier look.
mhm,
Do I know any stars out there? I'm like, well, there's some in the arts or on campus that, well, what's your video about? What do they got to do? What are they doing? Are they just standing there being eye candy? Like, what's the video? Give me, I gotta,
mhm.
what's the video about? I'm not gonna
What's
send
the
someone to a
idea?
set,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's to shoot them out, been like held on now, so if I know some girl, like Sarah said, it's a different type of tasteful video, they'll come, but they're not representing, of course you're not getting letters in there, but they'll come, they
Right.
like the look, they like the clean, put together, kept up, classy, none 99 cents weave wearing look. We like that.
Yes.
You put, but unfortunately at this time right now, maybe some of us are just doing other things and they can't quite get it. So they found just two girls that, and dressed them. One on the left was, you know, in the pink that wasn't quite popping, whatever. And the green, they're doing it in like a snake skin, which
Hmm.
the see through, once it stretches, it's no longer that green anymore. And I was just like, I wanted to say, why didn't you ask me? I would have told you, don't try to do see through with the colors because the skin underneath is going to change the pink and green. They're doing pink and green in all the videos. They're putting it and incorporating in the wardrobes and in the clothing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I mean, they were there, they were classy, and they were standing there and they weren't ratchet, but the colors weren't popping. And I'm like, you can't do a see-through sheer that stretch is gonna not give the colors what they should have. But we don't, anyone can wear any color, but it just goes to show, you know, it's been duly noted,
Mm-hmm.
what people see. And I'm just honored to know that I'm just honored to have all of you ladies around that have some
Oh,
class and understand that people are paying now, are thinking, because it was a time when, while the ratchets got, why do everybody has to, bend over and do all that to be noticed? Why can't you just stand here and be cute? I think it's
mm-hmm.
more effective. They are noticing that. They are, and they are trying to mimic it to the best of their ability. But as we know, always imitated, never
Never
duplicated. So it's
duplicated.
never gonna come out. It's not. And so I'm like, what am I thinking? It's not. It was Can't duplicate a look that you saw. If you look on YouTube, you can just pull up strolls of us and videos of us, and you see us dressed in the most fierce, outfits, strolling, probate, whatever it is. It's like, wow, we'll take the time to put all of them, dressed together from the head to the
Mm-hmm.
toe, from the scars to the glasses, everything. I see them mimicking that, and it doesn't, they can't quite pull it off, and they're not supposed to be able to pull it off. But, you know, um, I just wanted to throw that out there, that I was like, this is, I see what you tried
Yeah,
to do,
and
didn't quite work, but at least it's making the girls say, hey, I'm going to be in this video and I'm going to at least just stand here and I don't have to, do anything, that I can just try to just, you know, uh, be a little more tactful you can still
mhm,
be sexy, you can still be hot, you can still
right.
be all those things and pull it off without having to do anything. So their clothing, I was very happy. They were actually, um, longer, and they wanted to
Mhm.
wear those colors, which of course you're free to wear any color you want. It doesn't mean, you wear what you want, but they're making it, they're going out of their way to produce clothing in that item. I can't provide video girls for some of these videos because I'm like, well, what you're talking about, I mean, we're not going to be that, you're
Right,
pushing it with like, hold on now, we can help you with some things, but we don't want to be in that. Like, we're
right.
not preaching that message. That's not the motto. That's not
Mhm.
the
And
motto. That's not
I'm
quite what.
glad that you're doing that because, there are some that will just do anything for money or the prestige or the access to prestige or what have you. The fact that, they're going to be in a video or whatever, that they will do the most and they will wear the most and they will act the most just for that kind of imagery. And, that's not something that we need to perpetuate out there because there's plenty other women who can do that and who will do that. But we don't have to continually support that. We don't have to continually do that. And so that's another thing that I wanted to bring, also to this platform because, I, dress sexy. I, wear sexy clothes or what have you. I wear clothes that make me feel good and that fit my body shape and type. But, I don't ever want to have that misconstrued to say that this is me all the time because it's not me all the time. Actually, it's not me most of the time.
That's
when I go,
correct.
so when I go
Correct. which is why when
Right.
you do it, it hits so good because it's like, this isn't every day. This is you're getting special. I'm on,
You're getting a
it,
special look. Like even my
right.
eye look, like today, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to work today. I had some tests I had to take. So I was like, let me do a little something, something with this eye look. So I was like, let me wing it out a little
Bring it on out.
something.
Right, right.
I took that shadow and I winged it on out. And I gotta say, some days when I sit down to do my makeup, because I tell you all, makeup is my therapy. So today when I was sitting down and I was doing my makeup, I was thinking about my daughter. And I was like, I wonder if her painting, because she was an artist, she painted, she liked to take pictures of other people, not of herself. And she had dreams of being a videographer, like to be a director. Like her dream was to one day hold a Oscar in her hand and give her speech about, receiving this Oscar. And so as I was doing my makeup today, I was wondering, I was like, wow, was that all a part of her process? Like makeup is a part of my artistry. That's how I show my artistry. But I also, used to do, oh, good night, Venus. Good night, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Queen. Thank you for coming to the Queendom. Oh, thank you, Wanston. I love you. You're so wonderful. Can I just bottle you up and just bring you wherever I go? Um, but I was wondering if that was like her artistry, her way of getting her art out. Like mine is, makeup in the face. If hers was, painting and, the arts in um the videographer kind of way. So I was like, wow, that's something that, we never really talked about, but we both knew that it was there. So I just thought about that today when I was doing this look. And I was like, this is something she would like because it's kind of gothic looking. And she always liked when I did something like really artsy with my makeup. She's like, Mom, that's really cool. That's really cool what you did, Mom.
I
That's
like that.
cool. And we always like
Yeah.
that. We always like to have that, kind of camaraderie with our children. So, and your baby is in the arts as well. I don't know if you want to tell
hmm
everybody what she does in the arts.
Yes, she is a musical genius. Although that's her art. Her gift is actually mathematics, but not surprisingly, math and the piano go hand in hand. And so early, I think she was in first grade. And it may have even been kindergarten. All I know is her doctor of music, her teacher, um, who was just teaching music. And he's a noob. He's a part of D9. Shout out to Kappa Alpha
Oh,
Psi.
yeah.
He pulled me to the side and said, "Your daughter is gifted." I'm like, "She just played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star." Like this was back when she was in kindergarten, first grade. I'm like, "What are you saying that I'm not?" He's like, "No, no, no, no. You don't understand. It was supposed to take her about 3, 4 weeks to learn that song. She learned it at practice." I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Oh." So whatever he saw, I didn't know, but I trusted him. He said, "Can you please keep her with me? She's going. I know you don't see it because look, just trust
Mm-hmm.
me." And I did. I mean, I trusted him. I mean, there was no reason for him to sell me a pipe dream when
Mm-hmm.
he didn't need me for anything. He has his own music academy. Um, he actually was like, if you'll let her stay up under my umbrella, look, I'll take your tuition and have. I'm like, you don't have to do that, but that was how much he wanted me to see that he was serious about
Wow.
closing her talent, and I trusted him. And honey, when I tell you the auditions, when I tell people she's really booked and busy, she is. And I share a little bit of that with social media, but not a whole lot because it's
Mhm.
like you gotta.
Right.
to my baby, and I'm mommy and I'm momager, and I have to culture that and keep her safe
Mhm.
from the vultures and other people who
Absolutely.
want to try to come up off of, other, talents and things. But
Mhm.
yeah, he saw it way beforehand, and I'm very, very, very proud of her. And
Oh.
honey, it's those little girls, honey, she stayed in my stuff, and I found my doll tucked behind her. Like, she thought she really wants that doll, and they don't make, the vintage things, they don't really make. You Of
Mhm.
course you can't remake anything vintage, but that old stuff is the best stuff.
Yes.
The old stuff is the best stuff. The dolls, the things that, I mean 90s, it was just a different time.
Mhm.
um and we kind of all have the same type of attitude. It was just a different time up into the early 2000s, and things got a little tricky because, you know uh a lot of schools were on suspension. Some stuff got
Mhm.
out on eBay. And shout out to my other big sister who worked very hard with getting some stuff off of eBay. And you're no longer allowed. It's illegal to purchase rituals and things off of eBay that shouldn't have been there, which is why the
Mhm.
thing has process has been changed. So anybody out there that's, initiating yourself, you're all alone, honey. Everything has changed. I just want to throw it in the wind because there was definitely a chapter of Instagram people, and I was like,
Oh
wait,
my goodness.
what is going on here? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, there was a time where if you so much, you would get your shirt taken
Child.
off in the aisle at
I
Walmart,
I
or your
have
t-shirt.
seen some things. Okay? People have gotten their letters, their shirts ripped, cut up in front of you. Like people used to walk
Mm,
around with scissors ready to cut somebody up. And, God forbid somebody was perping, representing themselves as a member of D9 and were not a member of D9. And you go to like a picnic or any kind of open function where there are people who know whether or not you have done the process in the right way or not. And
mm-hmm.
they got in a lot of heat. They got stomped out,
Yeah.
they got beat up. It was very serious
I-
in the late
yeah, it's
80s
a
and
serious
90s.
matter. It really is. It's like, how dare you just say, like, you just can't. I mean, walk up into she owns a paraphernalia that it's been forever. It was her mom's, and then, her dad and her mom's, and then passed down to her and her sister. I mean, she takes stuff serious. Like, she's got this Rolodex. She's is going to look up. Uh, you just not going to her anything, and I just find it so funny. I'm like, how in the
Mhm.
world did you take the time to accumulate this? She's like, honey, after 40,
Yeah,
40
like,
years, you would have everybody's
like,
information
now,
too. Every
thankfully.
chapter. I'm like, oh my gosh. She will make like, she is so strict about who she wants to buy, who she'll sell to.
Mhm.
That is, I
As
mean,
she should
that's
be, as
hilarious.
she should be.
And
Well,
on so
now I'm
and
I'm glad that we have everything digitalized. So now we can actually go onto our website and with a few clicks can find out and confirm whether or not you are a member. So I'm glad that we have that now because before, it was like, the I we used to say the Ivy bond is long and wide. So anybody everybody knows everybody. It's 6 degrees of separation, and sometimes it's less than
yes.
6. So
Hmm.
all you have to do is ask the right person and you'll find out, what the behind the scenes story is. Um,
Yes.
so
There.
I'm
And
I'm
all that in
grateful for
social
that
media,
now.
people, I guess because, and I'm so, because my channel is I tell people all the time, I am an entertainment channel. I am not a Greek. I'm an entertainment channel that just happens to be a Greek woman. But my channel is strictly entertainment. So I get
Mhm.
all the people who I don't know what they think. They're just gonna come in and, try to perpetrate, and I ask a question. I know what to ask. Okay, I know what to ask.
Mhm.
And honey, they can't answer properly, and they get snippy, and I have to go on, and you're gonna catch this block. I don't know you. And
Mhm.
same with DM, because I'm like, did you not think did you just think I was just gonna just buy that? Um, it's not a hard question. I know there's a lot of things get forgotten along the way, but you can add, we know it could be, we know some things that you can add. You know what I mean? I just don't appreciate. I mean, I find it offensive that anyone would think. I don't care how funny you think I am. I do. I used to do a lot of comedy when I first started my channel. I don't do so much now, but I was trying to do, do some comedy things, and then the pandemic happened. They closed the Stardom, so it was like so much for that. But I guess they thought that would work, and they could just be skewing me in chats. And then here I am at them, and I asked like, so about that, I just wanted to ask, very cute as always. We're a lady with it. And honey, they couldn't answer, or they gave me something crazy, and I was like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, absolutely not. And I'll block them off, or basically just type, not what I don't know, what I need to type, because you don't get to just up and member yourself because you think it's trendy or cute. Um, you don't get to do that. I have sorrows dear to my heart that I
Mhm.
have, my ivies be on the wall. They are that, I have every suit, my white suit. Like, I'm not gonna let you, for them, you don't get to make a mockery of something where I have sisters that are not here anymore, that I love to death and lost way too soon,
Mhm.
um tragically. You're not going to play with me, and so I don't
Mhm.
show a lot of mercy. It's just strictly like, no, you don't get to do that, because this is a serious matter. And
Mhm.
I'm not going to play with you in this chat with coming around thinking, I'm just not going to do it. So that, I just want to
Absolutely.
put that out there. It's great to admire something, have a respect for it. Even, like you were saying earlier in the bill about wanting to become a member. We have a website now, find your
Mhm.
region. I've directed people, look, you need to go there because I'm over here in Southeastern, and I don't know, like I know, I don't know, I can't help you. I will say, you Atlanta, if there's any ATL ladies, be very careful. There are so many fraudulent people there. I even had a friend who fraudulently, I can't say she crossed because she didn't, and I can't recognize her, but she thought she
Mhm.
could write a check. And I'm like, you're not in college. You stopped going way back years ago. You
Mhm.
didn't go to graduate school. What made you think you could just write a check? Why didn't you talk to me or ask me? I would have at least, I would have given it,
Wow.
it's crazy. Like, just, I think they've caught this
Wow.
lady, and I think I don't know if she's arrested or caught charges for misrepresenting, but she's taking ladies' checks, and they were having them coming out. Next thing you know, with this chart name no one ever heard of, or it just was a mess. So if you are in
Oh my
Atlanta, the
goodness.
best advice I want to give you: do not trust anybody and what they say. You need to go to
The
the national
website.
website, find out if
Mhm.
that's a legitimate chapter, and then even if you want to, someone will speak with you there, or direct you to where that you
Mhm.
don't trust them, because Atlanta's a mess, and I don't know how it got that bad, but that's not my region, so I can't do anything to help. I don't have any clout there. I don't know anyone there. I know people there, but I'm just saying, it's people were just paying money, and all of a sudden, wait, without any type of like, what? Wait, what? You're not
Wow.
even in school. How did this happen? Like, what happened to being
I
a
don't mean to
college?
laugh, but
You know,
do your due diligence just like you would for a job or any other thing that you want. You do your due diligence, you research, you make sure that this is legitimate before you go and pay your money. And trust me, when I became a member, my fee to get in was less than $150. Now it's 10 times that amount. So before you write that check, you better know what you're getting into, and that it is an actual chapter that has actual members that you can look up on the website and see this chapter, see who the president of the chapter is, see who the membership person is, and go and ask questions. And it's fair to ask
Absolutely.
questions. It absolutely is fair to
Yes.
ask questions.
Because you don't want to be counted out. Because if you do it the wrong way, you're going to be X'd out because
Hmm.
you fraudulently misrepresented. There's a strong law team behind that incorporated, honey. Those lawyers, I don't know who's on the law team at National, but honey, they are serious and they are their jobs. They make good money to do what they do.
Hmm.
Salute to those sorors that are on the legal team, but they are going. You will end up on a in a black book somewhere, and you won't be able to come back again and redo it. It's like you forfeit your opportunity to have the real thing because you wanted to go have a drive-through experience. There's no
Hmm.
drive-through experience. Here's my money. Okay, tomorrow I'm walking around wearing a t-shirt. Absolutely not. And
Right.
so I don't really feel sorry for a lot of people because I'm like, did you really think it was that easy? Because if that didn't make any sense. Well, why you've known people, you've seen other people. What made you think that that was going to work? But it is a college. That's the whole thing about women in education, and that's what we
Hmm.
push. That's why we started. That's never going to be taken out the picture where, oh, you don't have to have any type of formal education, just anybody just come sign up. That will never happen. Ethel
No.
is come out of she will come from behind that wall with a quickness and say absolutely not. We fought to
Absolutely
get
not.
on this campus, and that will never change. So it is to
Hmm.
a reward for our girls in college, our girls trying, getting a higher education, something for them to do to stay out of all the things, mischievous things college girls get into, and you still will,
Hmm.
but it keeps you on a good straight and narrow to where you can focus, stay have
Hmm.
something to do in college, and then later on in life take that with you.
Hmm.
It's a wonderful opportunity. And so for anyone to make a mockery of that and think, oh, they could just take the college part out, write a check, and you come in, we're not. They were sadly
No.
mistaken. So just
No.
always anybody out there that hears this at another time, you can go and check for yourself to decide. You can have someone get you to a legitimate chapter, and you don't have to be frauded and have to be, go through that. And I'm sorry for anyone that has happened to, but sometimes when
Yeah.
you know, just a simple question could eliminated that. And I'll
Eliminate a
digress on
whole
that.
lot of heartache. You're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right.
Because
All right.
that's gonna be a pain. It's gonna hurt, definitely.
Right. Because that check is not nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of money to be thrown away on something that isn't even real. You know what I mean? Part of what I love about being a member, when we had the ability, was going to our regional conferences, going to our boulets especially, and our leaderships, because then I get to see people from everywhere, from the southeastern region, from the south central region, from the far western region. I love that. I love being able to see sorors from everywhere. And so when we have those larger conferences like the boulets, like the leaderships, where everyone from all of the regions are invited to come out, you see everyone, and you even see, some honorary members too. I met a lot of honorary members that way. um, and I met, some of them are friends of mine that I even, correspond to this day, who are honorary members, or members who have some quote unquote clout, because they're celebrities or what have you. But I don't want to leave this broadcast without asking you 3 questions about being a woman. So, what are the 3 best things about being a woman for you?
All right, being a woman. Well, number one, I can wake up every day and make a decision for myself what it is I want to do.
Mhm.
And I know that's like, well, what's that got to do with being a woman? It means everything. I'm
Mhm.
not a little girl anymore. Okay, I have to wake up. I have to go to my class. I have to do that. As a woman, I wake, I have grown into womanhood. I wake up and I decide how I want to be for that day. Am I
Mhm.
going to be this? Am I going to give that? Am I going to serve that? Because after all, in 43 years, and
Mhm.
all the life experiences, it has given me the ability to be whatever it is I want to be. And
Mhm.
so, as a woman, honey, if I want to come out and I want to be whatever, I have the power and the right to do that. And
Mhm.
I can do it delicately, I can do it tastefully. I don't have to, I can make it look so beautiful. And I love that. I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. And I can't be, don't box me in. I tell people all the time, like, you can't box me in. The minute you try to put me in a box, honey, I am going to break out of it. I can't
Mhm.
even fit in a box. I don't know. It's just not going to work. So being a woman, I cannot be boxed in, and I can be whatever it is I choose to be based on my life experience. I feel like I've earned that.
Mhm.
If I want to come and I'm going to go sit on at the PTA meeting or whatever it is, let me get in my mommy mode. Let me get my mommy dress. You know how that goes.
Yes.
If I feel like let me walk through here. I want to be, Miss Sassy today or whatever. I can do that also, and I can do it with my head held up because of the decisions that I made to walk in dignity.
Mhm.
And when others made, never judging another woman or any other body's, everyone to each their own, but people see one thing, and I'm always the opposite of what they think they see.
Mhm.
And so that's my number one, is that no, I am who I want to be, and no one can take that from me. All the experience I've gone through that I wasn't prepared for. Once you get off that college is like, oh wait, I have to be an adult too. So you have to be an
Right.
adult before, like, even like the sorority even can't, they can't stop you from adulting. You have to learn how to be an adult. You're going to go through
Mhm.
things and going through stuff even when no one was around. That's the whole point of knowing what you have to lean on. So yes, I
Mhm.
can be whatever it is I want to be, and no one's stopping me. So the sky's the limit. I enjoy that about being a
Mhm.
woman. That's
Awesome.
number one.
Okay. Number
Um,
2?
Number two, I guess this was also tied into number one. Again, to each his own. People have found different ways to make make it work.
Mhm.
I've had moments where, hey, I was living it up, girl. Okay. There was plenty of money running in. And I can also relate to, okay, let me tighten up, or wow, looking a little broke here. I can relate to all the levels of finances you can be on.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I will fall on my knees about, and I say, thank you, Lord, even in the roughest times, and I didn't know what I was going to do, whatever, you could just end up, you just never know how type of situation it could take, one calamity can turn everything, right side up, upside down. But
Mhm.
I do walk with a certain pride, and I mean that in a non ungodly way, because we don't want to be prideful people, but
Mhm.
knowing that I, not today, not tomorrow, not ever, am I willing to sell my flesh, defile my flesh, or let that be in a way out of difficult situations? I
Mm.
know there's a better way. And I'm preaching that to a lot of young girls coming behind me. I wouldn't quite call them prospects yet, because they've got way far to go up to be considered a prospect. But I'm trying to show them there's a better way. You don't got to do that.
Absolutely.
It's better to start,
Absolutely.
honey, go to bed hungry. Don't give me an excuse
Mhm.
before you say, well, I needed to feed my, no, 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 no. I know, I've
Mhm.
been there. You don't, you don't, your flesh and your body and your temple is not an option. There's a better way. So I take a lot of
Mhm.
pride in that, because
Yeah.
usually people will go the other way and just say, out. No, 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 no. There's a better
Mhm.
way. you can come out of that situation with your head held up high. So that would one and two going in together. Three, I honestly would probably go to the younger girls, knowing that there's the ones that are looking at us, whether it's my daughter or someone
Mhm.
else's daughter. Uh, we have a responsibility for those that need to see, there's more than, twerking on a video. There's another side of you that can be just as fun.
Yeah,
Um, silly, sexy, all the things that come to being a woman. We are women, and you don't
absolutely.
have to be embarrassed tomorrow that your mother is, you don't have to, you don't have to
Right.
have your entire inside shown. So there's a couple of what I'm trying. I call them the mommies. Oh
Mhm.
gosh, I don't know how they got trapped into it, but I'm working very hard to get them to, don't send a pic. I work with them very hard. Like, no, no, no. He doesn't get a pic. He doesn't get any of that. Don't do it. I'm working with them because they don't have anybody. No
Hi,
one cares. Like no
babe.
one's gonna
Thank
tell
you,
them that. Don't they,
beautiful.
so I'm trying my best to help them get out of tricky situations that some guys have
Mhm.
talked them in. They fell for the okey, just in a little pig, and now they're being held captive and being hostage by, those type of things. So I'm like, that's okay.
Mhm.
I'll be your muscle. Where is he at? Let me get him together. I enjoy, I'm gonna admit it. I enjoy hitting those men where it hurts. Like, okay, you took advantage. She is 21. She doesn't know, you are totally ruining her life over a photo. I tell you what, how about, we'll get you in a compromising situation. Don't test my
Mhm.
pearl. I will flip it around because some of the younger girls just, oh man, you know what? And let me end this. I want to say this for us older women.
Mhm.
You all know we didn't have phones. I know, Bella, y'all didn't have. We didn't have no cell phone. If we had
Mm-mm.
phones and cameras back then, how much stuff I would have, and I'm like, oh, I'm not. I don't want to say jealous, but the all the footage that people get to have now, we didn't have that luxury because if
Mm-mm.
someone had a camcorder, it was that old school big old VHS like type of thing that they only
Mhm.
recorded at one huge event that maybe the grad advisor carried around. It wasn't like an actual, no one was keeping a camera all the
Right.
time going. So a lot of our best moments, they're in our head or on a like Polaroid form. Polaroid picture that was printed out. You know what I mean? They're not
Mhm.
like easily accessible. And I'm in the process now of trying to like round up a lot of us from my original chapter and get some. I've got film I never developed, and I've got the film. So I'm like, where's our pics? We had the same fun to me, if not more, because we
Mhm.
actually traveled places, traveled to other campus,
Right.
traveled to other yards to go to their shows. Where's our pics? But this photo in we just didn't have that, and the ones who do have it now in the world, I see how it can go the opposite way. So I kind of got off topic there, but you kind of see where I was going with
No,
that.
I
The mom,
I
I'm like,
totally get it, and I tell my line sister all the time,
okay.
"Thank God we were not on camera."
And
We
I say that too, like, that's why it's good to not always judge, because I always say I can't judge you because I'm not
right, 'cause
gonna
I
pretend like I could have easily
mhm,
been me. Like, we just didn't have
exactly.
cameras, we didn't have phones. I don't remember, honey, but I don't even remember getting a cell phone till like sometime. It was way late '90s. Like there
Way
was no
late
phone, and I don't even
90s,
know if it
yeah.
it didn't have a camera. It surely didn't have a camera on it, and it was
Mhm.
like 25 cents a minute. So if you use it, you like, hey, where you at? Where we
Good
going? And get off real
night.
quick, or your mom was gonna be yelling about why's your cell phone, $300. So we definitely didn't have these
Instant
pictures and
camera.
photos. So I don't want to
Yes.
judge the girls who do, because I'm like, oh man, I can't say that I wouldn't have had some, not my greatest moments caught,
Mhm.
on a picture or photo or whatever. So I try to show the mercy as a woman. I try
Mhm.
to show mercy to those who they're just tormented by
Hey,
um
Chris.
photos that I get. I'm like, hey girl, look, I'm not better than you. I just didn't, y'all can't
Thank
look anywhere
you.
without someone snapping. So not judging other women or prematurely judging when you know darn well, honey, it could have been you.
It
So
really
I
could have
enjoy.
been. It
Yeah,
really could have
exactly.
been.
I enjoy being able to say, don't forget what you see here. I don't
Is
have
a
anything out
work
there
in
really crazy now.
progress.
But yes. So those are my questions. I hope I answered them to the best
Oh
of my
my
ability.
God, you did. Of course, you did a
And
fantastic job.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
so
look.
much.
I'm gonna mold my face. In conclusion, you guys, I'm gonna figure out how to mold my face. I'm gonna mail it to Bella and let her figure out. Okay, these are the things you need. Because
Listen,
I know I can't. Like that's all I need you to do. Like, okay, pick me the same palette. I don't need. Like, look, figure it out. You know, just figure. I just wish, I just see you as
oh,
that person. I'm like, you see my features, just tell me which ones I need, package it up to
yeah.
give me a ticket and let me buy it. Like I wish I could just send a mold of my face. And you's like, well, no, that won't work for you, because I just look at all the
Oh,
things you have and I'm like, how am I supposed to figure out my I guess I have to go into the departments or like my actual tone for a good foundation when I don't know what
mhm.
it is. Like, oh, that's going to be interesting. So I'm watching you. I'm trying to learn,
Okay.
and you
Well,
have the
I'm gonna
best
figure
stuff.
out a way because I know a lot of people have been asking me that question about how they could kind of learn from what I do, and how to pick the right foundations, how to pick the right whatever. So I'm gonna start another series of like little quickies. And now that the world has opened up somewhat, I can go into Sephora and show you how I color match myself in their light and then take it out into natural light, and I take a picture of it to match my skin color. So I've been pretty good, knock on wood, since we've been kind of more on lockdown before, in terms of getting my color matched correctly, because I used to be all over the place because I don't know if I have like skin dysmorphia or whatever. I always thought I was darker than what I was. So I would always constantly go and pick a foundation shade that was darker than my actual skin. And so I had to always, trial and error, go back and forth and try different things. Now I think I've gone beyond that, and now I know how to kind of color match myself, or at least if I'm off, how to tone it down, or if it's too light, how to make it a little bit darker. So I've learned kind of like the tips and tricks so I can help more with people who have that kind of issue with, trying to color match a foundation. But I would say for you, if you're not um acne prone, if you are not like really seriously oily, like you can see like my oil is just starting to break through in my T-zone. So I'm a little shiny around here. The nose is the highlight, so don't worry about that. But right in here, I'm oily. So I would always grab, and these are for all of my girls, whether you are oily, normal, whatever. The only thing is if you're dry, you don't need these. But I would get blotting paper, and I would take the blotting paper and I would blot. And you see how it's collecting all that oil? And then I lift it up, no shine. Shine, no shine.
Amazing.
And this is
Amazing.
something that you can just, you can even buy in the drugstore. The clean and clear ones I have, they do the same thing. These papers is by the Japanese company that I love, which is Tatcha. And I love them because they really, like, look at this. They soak up all of that oil.
Not to throw you off, but I watch a lot of Japanese movies because, and I
Mhm.
pay attention a lot to the
Thank
hair
you,
game. I
Kronos, for
see
the
exactly where
super
they got
sticker. Kronos
that
gave me
makeup they use for their
mhm.
they got some they know some secrets. You
Oh,
guys don't ever
yes.
box yourself in. They know some secrets on how to hold down some lace front. I watched them. I'm like, am I watching this because I really enjoy it, or I'm looking at some of your tricks you're using to
Mhm.
uh for how they film, but they know some tricks. So I understand what you say when you're like, hey, I learned this from them. Don't ever box yourself in, ladies, and don't think we can't learn something from another culture, because those people, they know some secrets. I
They know
watch, I look in close
secrets.
and say, that's the same lady from before, but all they did was change the shape of her eyebrow, and she looks like a completely different person. I
Yeah,
pay attention to how they'll take the
you
eyebrow and
know what I've
arch it up.
discovered? I'm sorry to cut you off, Sora. You know
No,
what I've
you're
discovered
fine.
though? You know what I've discovered about them? And I discovered this when I was working for an advertising agency, and we did a like double dutch competition at the Apollo. So we took over the Apollo for like a Sunday afternoon, and we held these double dutch tournaments to promote our energy drink Nutriment. And who won? A Japanese um, team that heard about it and came out from Japan. They practiced, they did everything, and they won it all because they studied for hours how
Hmm.
to master this technique. And they came
Yes.
in and they were flying and jumping from each way and flipping over each other and doing all these acrobatic moves while jumping rope.
Yes.
But they mastered it. And I
Do
said,
you
that's
remember
what
your
we have to
fan?
do. We as African Americans have to master what it is we're doing. We cannot go
Yes.
in to these offices, to these corporations, to YouTube gimping along and thinking that,
Right.
our cherry personality or our whatever is going
Is
to
enough.
get us over.
Uh,
We cannot
Your fan.
simply take ideas from other people because I know people borrow ideas from everybody. People borrow ideas from me,
Right.
and I don't want to use the word steal, but let's call it what it is. But
Yeah. um, your fan
they do
bases.
that without mastering
Right.
what it is we're doing, because I'm not
I
just
don't know if you
getting
ever
on
caught
here
that
talking for the
comment
sake of talking.
I left in the chat when you pull your fan out. And I had just finished watching Memoirs of a Geisha
Exactly.
again. Like I watched it a couple of times because there's some hidden stuff in
There
there
are some
with how
hidden stuff in
to.
there.
And I don't know if you ever watched that fan dance and
Mhm,
watch what they would like.
mhm.
And that's why I'm like, you know what? We need to be coming on here, honey, flipping a fan up and twirling it and catching it like. And I just thought of you
And
because your fan
it's
is
all
big,
with
and
the
I'm
flick
like,
of the wrist.
yes, you two bring them to come in, one from the top, from the bottom. I'm just seeing all these in my head. I'm like, let me. I keep watching. I'm like, I need to figure that out. Is there a
Mhm.
tutorial on how to learn how to fan dance? Like, I'm gonna find it out because I did ballet for 11 years, although I'm not a ballerina. But if there's a
Mhm.
technique, and for some reason the
There's a
fan has caught
technique
my
to everything,
attention.
and there's an art to what the geisha does. The geisha was brought out to entertain. She wasn't brought out
Yes,
as a sexual object. She was brought
not
out
at all. Right.
to bring entertainment. And so every movement that she does while she is entertaining, it's done for a purpose. It's done for a reason. It's done to entertain. It's done
Hmm.
to show art. And so even while I'm doing this show is not just done haphazardly. I didn't just come up with this. This is something that's been in my head for a minute. I just needed the right vehicle to get it out. Hey, Terry,
Understood.
welcome in. The squad
Understood.
is in the house. I love it when the squad comes out. But everything is done with a purpose. And so that's what I want as a main takeaway, because you didn't just start your channel as a whim. You started it as a part of your entertainment company. You started it for a
I
purpose.
did. Right.
And so, when
True.
people try to take you out that purpose, that's why I was so upset when you were upset on your live, because I'm like, they're taking you out of your purpose. Your purpose is
Right.
not to come on here and argue with them about
Absolutely.
a organization that you are a part of that they have no clue about, and they will never understand. Even if we
Mhm.
sat here and we talked for almost 2 hours, even if we talked for 2 hours about nothing but AKA, you still have not reach the tip of what it is that we know in our 24 and 25 years of being members of this sorority, because it's too much for even 2 hours, and you wouldn't even be able to encompass all of the things that we know. Ray has been a member for over
Right.
25 years, and I've known her
Correct.
almost all that time. And I will tell you, like, she there's a lot of things I can say, but she is the epitome to me of an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. She speaks softly, but she carries a big stick. You don't test her, don't push her, because she will snap at you and she will come back at you. And I feel like I have embodied that same kind of technique where, I let a lot of things roll off until they don't. And when
Yes.
they don't, that's when you see another side of Brown Girl Bella. That's when Brooklyn Bella come out. And Brooklyn Bella don't care
Mm.
about lights, cameras, or action. All her concern is cut you to the quick.
I want, before you end or I don't get to get this out,
Yes.
Bella, you turn the tables for me. And no matter what, I'm never going to be able to do enough to thank you for that.
Aw.
But you turn the tables because to see, um, you could hear and see and were able to come up and get me back where, hold on, let me get back where I'm supposed to be, because
Mhm.
I was totally outnumbered, and it
Yeah.
was totally, they've been plotting on your girl clearly for a minute. We got to
Mhm.
take her out because she's just too likable. Well, why can't we be likable? What's wrong with that?
Mhm.
I go into
Mhm.
many different sectors where it's more male. Sometimes I'm the only female. I can go anywhere on these YouTube streets. And when I leave, you're gonna know who I am. So they've been plotting
Mhm.
on your girl for a minute. And when the tables turn, and I'm like, someone can re-spark. We have to have, no matter how strong I am, that's the whole point of an Ivy in the vine. No Ivy stands by itself. I ain't seen one
Mhm.
person with just an Ivy leaf. That's not possible. It is a vine, and it is
Mhm.
long, and it is strong.
And it's
And when I said,
strong.
here I am, even on YouTube, and of course I had, I sang in the room, but just knowing that you know what this YouTube thing is, it did turn the tables. I haven't been the same. I'm able to snap back into, no, I'm not going to be doing this. That's not my testimony. That's not my ministry. I'm going to
Mhm.
do what I've been doing. And now I've been able to
Absolutely.
do it freely. My batteries were recharged and refocused, and I have not missed a beat. So I
Yes.
don't know how I'm ever going to thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um, except to remember, in my heart, that is why, these things that everyone, they wouldn't understand the meaning to it. But
Mhm.
honey, that vine, honey, that you
Mhm.
reached up, I said, and that's why it is so strong. One
Mhm.
day I'm going to show you guys my yard. I grew the most enormous, uh, uh, yard of ivies, and they have taken over. And I just have said, you know what? I'm just gonna be the lady in the ivy forest. They're like coming down from the trees, and I just love it.
Well,
But
Sora,
those vines
send me
are
your
so
tricks because
strong.
I kill
Yeah,
every plant I've ever touched. Every
they're
plant known
outside,
to
so
man,
they've
I
just
have
taken
killed.
over. Well, I'm sorry if I borked. I don't know. I think I borked a little bit, but honey, you lit something in me, and it turned the tables, and I'm able to do my platform a little better than I was before,
Mhm.
because just what was in you, it was coming in me, and we are connected. We
Yeah.
really are. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
that was amazing. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm
Mhm.
that's why I
And
keep, probably
that's
later
always
tonight
been
day
me,
I may
and
edit
you've
some stuff
seen
out,
that.
but
Yeah, it's always been me, from, the story I told you about from when my big sister first poured into me. I've always been that type of person. And, Ray's known me for a long time. We've even worked together. She knows, how I am as well. And, I could not, in all good conscience, stand there, sit here on your platform and allow that to go down. It just was not happening. And so when you threw down that ladder, I climbed up and I said, "Listen, sis, let me get you back to where you need to be." Because I knew you had a lot of emotion and people were coming at you, and I could feel your energy kind of like going in and getting low. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We are sisters first. Before we are sorority sisters, before we anything, we are sisters. And I'm not going to allow another sister, her energy to vibrate low on her platform that she commands. Not happening. Not happening. It won't happen here and it won't happen there or anywhere else where I'm a part of. So that's why I wanted you to get back to who you are and get back to your strength. And all you needed was a little water from Big Sister Mother Nature. All you needed was a little water. All you needed was a little talking to. Big Sister Mother Nature just pulled you back together and you became who you are and you grew into who you are. Our cook said, I learned how to keep ivy growing because my daughters brought major pots in the house. I got ivy growing in my kitchen. Well, you need to send me some. Somebody send me some ivies because I had some English ivy that my sorors had gotten for me. And yeah, I just had to, like, they all just like shriveled up. I guess there was too much light or something. Yeah, they didn't make it. They didn't make it. And another sorority sister gave me a plant that is almost impossible to kill, but in my hands, yeah, that died too. So I
love
say,
it.
yeah, I say
I
send
don't
me
know if I
some,
got
but if
sound
you love your
anymore. Let
plants,
me
maybe
try to
you
play.
won't send me none. If you love your plants, maybe you won't send me any. It's like that girl will kill a plastic plant. I don't know. It's just not my ministry. But my
Let me
grandmother
see.
who raised
I'm
me,
not
she
sure
had
if I
great
got
growing
sound. You
hands.
might have lost me.
Uh-oh.
You might have lost
No,
me. I
I'm
hear
here. I hear
think
you.
I'm boarding. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What'd you say?
Okay. I guess it's just weird and it's okay. As long as you can hear me, it was just I saw Cook come in and it's so funny. His daughters are my Sarah's and it's just honey, it is so many of he has a house full of women and he's so funny. They have taken over,
Oh,
honey, with the frogs and the ivies. He's just like taking care of them. They don't just let he's like he keeps a special light on them and it's so funny to hear him when he's like they just took over the
oh
house. All I'm like,
goodness,
yeah, you got three
goodness.
daughters that all pledged. What did you think was gonna happen? Oh gosh, he's
He said
spraying the
all he
ivies
sees is
away. He
ivies
he
and
does a
turtles
good job.
everywhere.
He is a good supporter. Shout out to my brother Cook. He is a very, very
Yes.
good supporter, honey. He knows.
Yes. Tell him to come on over here and get Bellafied with Auntie Bella. I love it. I love to
Oh gosh,
see the
I lost the
new.
internet, y'all.
Oh
Bella,
my.
I'm gonna come. I'm. You're gonna lose me. Yeah, it's storming here, and I can see it's gonna drop me. I can tell it
Oh,
happens.
okay.
If it
Well, we're
does,
about to
I didn't
close
try to do it on
anyways.
purpose.
No worries. We're about to close anyway. Um, our cook said frogs too. He's stuck. They don't have any bunnies. I gotta send them some bunnies. That
Oh,
used to
there
be
it is.
our
It came
thing.
on out. It worked itself
Bunnies.
out. It was like This was
Oh, yeah, they
amazing.
listen to
If
me.
my son is coming
Yeah.
in, this was awesome.
Oh my
You're
God.
just oh man, I
Thank
just can't wait to
you.
see the future. I
Thank
just
you.
can't
Well,
wait to
thank
see
you for coming on. Oh, thank you for coming on
what
to the
happened.
inaugural of the Queendom. I so appreciate having you. I so appreciate everybody in the chat listening in and, chiming in with their comments and everything. Please keep them coming. I love that. Next week, I may have another Queendom, depending on if the person can make it or not. We're still trying to work out schedules. But until next time, let me just tell you real quickly what I'm doing for the rest of the week. As you guys know, Fridays, I usually spend time watching everybody else and editing any videos that I have for next week. So I am having some videos that I'm editing now for Monday. We McGrath have a throwback for you. And before then, Sunday Sips, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be breaking out Mother's latest holiday collection. I have the 18 pan shadows from Celestial Odyssey. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today, as a matter of fact. So I want to definitely bring you some more looks with that palette because I think it's absolutely fan freaking tastic. So you want to know a good oh, she had to drop off because of the weather. But if you're looking for a shadow range that kind of gives you the flexibility to do maybe like a one eyeshadow look, which is what I did for the top. I just used one shadow and blended it out, and then also created the wing, and then I just cleaned it up underneath so that it's sharper. I use another color and a liner underneath for the waterline. And then in the inner corner, I just use a little bit of a shadow called Heavenly Body, which is also in the collection that Mother just released. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more. ZOZ, thank you for holding it down and throwing Beach's link in. Guys, please connect with her. Her channel, like she said, is an entertainment channel, but she is so sweet and so dear. So please go and support my soror because I adore her so very much. And I'm so thankful that she was able to come out for the inaugural of Welcome to the Queendom. Hope you enjoyed it too. And until we meet again,